Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. We'll see. We'll see. Because if I say it's going to be a short show, then that means it goes till 6. Y'all forced me to go long. Um, but we'll see how long it is, depending on what's going on. There's a number of things to talk about. But before I get to that, of course, I have to say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody. I know I wasn't here on, Monday. That was President's Day. And y'all know, as patriotic as I am, I honor and respect our presidents. I had to take the day off, and I spent almost the whole day just meditating on the greatness of our presidents. The greatness of our presidents. That's all you should have been doing on Monday as well. Then yesterday I had to drive to Cleveland and back, and so yeah, I couldn't be on. I thought about doing it on my phone as I was driving, but I said that's kind of dangerous. It's kind of dangerous, and I respect the road, all of that kind of stuff. No, really, I didn't do it just because it don't work well. Like really, I can only do like a Facebook Live that way, and going on all of the platforms. It don't work that well, and then I wouldn't have been able to see and read comments. So yeah, I just figured another day would be fine. I almost ended up not coming on today because I didn't notice. I take my setup to the church and use a portion of my setup on Sundays for the church, and I had left a power cord at the church. And, I don't have access to the church now when no one else is there. So I have to call someone and get access. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go on. And they're going to think I'm just like being lazy and don't want to go on. And, the haters is going to hate even more. Sierra, Prosser. They gonna hate even more. So I called the church, and luckily somebody was there, and they were like, "Sure, you can come." And I went there and got the cord, and then I rushed back here, and y'all know I got off work, come here ready to set up. Like, oh my cable, I'm missing a power cable. What am I gonna do? That's how I talk to myself when nobody else is here. What am I gonna do? And I called. Luckily they were there, so I was able to shoot over there and then shoot back and get here, and now here I am. So I hope everyone enjoyed the weekend and the first couple of days of the week. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Let me say hello to a few people. Hello to a few people. Robert. Good afternoon, Robert. Good afternoon. Sierra. Happy Wednesday. She's representing Boston. We got Erica in the house representing Reading. Anthony, he's in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. We got Maria representing North College Hill. All right. Alethea in the house. All right. Good afternoon, Alethea. Brent in the house representing Dallas. Good afternoon. We got Pamela in the house representing North Avondale. Good afternoon, Pamela. Nick in the house representing beautiful Blue Ash. All right. I thought only Lincoln Heights was allowed to call themselves beautiful, but I guess anybody can. Nick, good afternoon. Valerie in the house. Good afternoon, Valerie. Good afternoon. We got Dina. Dina, good afternoon, Dina. Good to see you. Thank you for your support. Diane in the house. Good afternoon, Diane. She's representing Covington. Brent, so you need to step up your old music game. I'm not sure what that means. But again, I am gonna go through the little process and get the rights to music and all of that kind of stuff so I can play music, get my theme song in there, get it ready, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna do that by the end of March. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to stretch this stuff out. Pat, good afternoon, Pat. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking in. We got Dominique in the house. Dominique. Hey, Dominique. Thank you for checking in. LaDonna in the house. representing Price Hill and a little bit of hate all at the same time. All right. Valerie says Westwood in the house. All right. Sabrina in the house representing Kentucky. Thank you for checking us out. We got Andrea. Good afternoon. She's representing downtown. Thank you, Andrea. Chelsea says you drove all the way to Cleveland and didn't even tell me. I tell you when I'm in Cincinnati. It was on business. And so I had to get up there, do what I had to do, and then get back. I was on a little bit of a time crunch. And so I knew, it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. I had to call you and tell you about it. And you don't always tell me when you're in Cincinnati. Don't lie. I don't like it when you lie. You're so much better than that. Pamela says, I spent President's Day trying to get a pair of those gold T shoes. Carolyn. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Good afternoon. I got something over here flashing on me. I got to switch to a different screen. That thing keep flashing, and I keep thinking this message is popping up, but it's not. It's a commercial on a website. Raven says, it feels nice outside. Try to enjoy the weather today. It feel all right out there. I saw some people in shorts, actually. They were Caucasian. But I saw some Caucasian people walking around in shorts. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But people can do what they want to do. Look, in the summer, I see some black people walking around in hoodies. Well, what can you say? Brenda representing Fairfield. Good afternoon, Brenda. Appreciate you. Mike Ballard, he's representing Woodlawn. All right. Beautiful Woodlawn. I think you can say beautiful Woodlawn. They got some nice little areas over there. Oh, let's see. We got David in the house. He's representing Westchester. Nikki. She's in the house. Good afternoon, Nikki. Got McConnell in the house. Good afternoon. Logic Slayer representing Gulf Manor. Appreciate you being here. Corey representing Green Township. Appreciate you. My OSHA in the house. She wants to know that she missed a bootleg countdown. No, you missed a real countdown. I'm bootleg about my goddamn countdown. Hater. Why I got so many haters? I got a message for the haters in a little bit. Let's see. Lewis in the house representing Sharonville. Good afternoon, Lewis. Good afternoon. Let's see. Denise Divine Marquetta representing College Hill. Hello. Got Tessie in the house. All right, Tessie. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen your name up here. You should say hi to me more often. Let me see. Terrence Howard, the real Terrence Howard. I got celebrities up in this bitch, y'all. Terrence Howard, good afternoon. And by the way, that's not a cuss word. Female dog is not a cuss word. Bitch is just a female dog. It's not a cuss word. Let me see. We got DeWanda in the house. Good afternoon, DeWanda. Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate you. Let me see. Chelsea said you be in Cincinnati. You always welcome to stop by. I got a space on the bench just for you. Well, technically, it's not just for you. Anybody could stop. Not anybody, because that would be weird for just some random person to show up at my house. Like, hey, I want to be on your show. But you could stop by, be on the show, no doubt. Let me see. We got Shahara in the house. Good afternoon. She's representing Mason today. Shahara. All right. I always appreciate when Shahara's in here. I don't know why. It's certain people, like, I like all of y'all. But it's certain people, when they hear, it feel different. When Janice is here, it feel different. When Shahara is here, it feels different. I know there's going to be some hate, even if it's not like typed out. I'm going to feel the hate energy waves coming. And y'all know I like that. I like that. Terry representing downtown. Thank you for checking us out. Yeah, I'm hateable. I don't know why. I'm the most loving, generous guy you will ever meet. I don't know why. Let's see. I think that's it. I think I got everybody. All right, everybody in the house. So good afternoon to everyone. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a few minutes. We'll see how long y'all last. Of course, we got a few things that we have to talk about. Somebody let me know if Ron D shows up. Because I got to get his opinion about the FBI indicting the source of the impeachment of Joe Biden. I got to get his opinion on this. So I don't even want to go into it until Ron D gets here. And he could cuss all day because the little baby ain't here. So he could cuss all day. I always prefer it if he doesn't cuss because that don't fit right with my spirit, all that cussing. It's just not. But he could if he wanted to. So let me know if Ron D shows up. And we'll talk about it. Oh, wait a minute. I see we got Fame. I look grandfatherly today. Okay. I need to either cut my hair or get a haircut. I just haven't had time. I haven't had time to go up and take my clippers. You know, I don't do it like that. That wasn't even touching my hair. But I haven't had time to even go cut my hair. But speaking of grandfatherly, and by the way, thank you, Fame, for checking us out. I appreciate you. I see CK in the house as well. CK says the best part is that you have the answers. Okay. So I see CK and Jack in the house. I didn't see Jack. Oh, pull up. Thank you, Chelsea. She says put up the chat. Thank you. But speaking of the little baby, I got a few stories that I do want to talk about. But you know, I had never played go fish before in my life until that was either Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. I had to take the little baby's phone from her because she just be too into the phone, and you 6. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be connected to your device too much. So she had the phone, she was into it, and I was just like, no. So I took her phone from her. And she was, you know, for a minute, she just kept, can I have my phone back? No, you can't. She'd go and sit down for about 5 seconds and then get back up and look at the phone and say, can I get my phone back? I say, no, you can't. And she would go sit down. For real, this happened for probably about 3 minutes straight. 3 minutes don't seem like a long time, but it was many times because she would only sit down and be still for like 10 seconds and then get back up and look at the phone and, can I have my phone back? No. And she would smile. Okay. And then sit down, get back up. Can I have my phone back? No. Okay. Sit down. Can I have my phone back? So for 3 minutes, I dealt with that. Finally, I said, if you ask me one more time for that phone, you not getting it back, period. She sat there. But then she got up. She got all of these games. That some of them she's never opened. So because she couldn't get the phone, she went over and she started playing with games. And she started pulling out games. How do you play this, grandfather? I would look at it, I would read it to her, I would read the instructions. Actually, initially, I would tell her to read the instructions because she can read. I would tell her to read the instructions. She can read the words. But she ain't, she's 6. She ain't necessarily putting together all the instructions. You ever read instructions to a game and didn't understand them and you grown as hell? So she would read the instructions and she would read them out loud. And then she would say, so how do you play? I thought that was funny. So I would show her how to play whatever the game was. And of course, she wanted to play me in the game. So we would play the game. I learned this about her. She is a damn cheater. She's a cheater. Like, she's a horrible, horrible cheater. Y'all know the little memory game where all the cards are face down and you got to flip over 2 of them and then flip them back over and try to, remember the cards so that you can make matches. That was one of the games. She was cheating. She would flip the card, but only enough so she could see it and then put it back down. And I would be like, I need to see the card. It's not fair if I don't see the card. And she kept doing it. I'm like, I have to see the card. You got to flip it all the way over. And as she's cheating, she's not good at cheating because she thinks it's funny. So even if I'm not paying any attention, I always know when she's cheating because she start giggling. Like, I have to see the card. Anyway, so we did all of that kind of stuff. We played a lot of games. I let her win some I, let her tie. And I wasn't really trying to bust her in the head. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really trying to bust her in the head. But then we got to Go Fish. I'd never played Go Fish. So I had to read the instructions 3 or 4 times just because it's a stupid game. It's stupid. It's a dumb game. But, little baby want to play the game, we're going to play the game. So I explained to her the rules. She don't really understand it, but she kind of understand it. So we playing. And then her mama shows up to grab her. And Mrs. Livingston is over there. So now it's 3 against 1. So now I'm like, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to take it easy on her. Because it's 3 of them. I can bust them all out. So they kind of helped her because she was keeping cards in her hand. So she had all 4 of the 3s, but she didn't know that she, had a book when she did that. So they were kind of helping her, but they were also kind of cheap. So then I ended up spanking them all. And, that felt good. To spank all 3 of the women. Exert my dominance. I'm the man of this motherfucking house. I assert my dominance over all y'all at once. It's equivalent to when you got a whole lot of kids. That some of the men know this, who deal with kids in sports. You got a whole lot of kids and they think they better than you. And we can outrun you. You ain't that fast. You don't want to race each individual kid. By the second kid, you gonna get smoked. So you line them all up. I'm racing all y'all at once. Ready, set, go. Pew! And you beat them all, and then you look at all of them like, ooh, slurp. Can't none of y'all run. Killed them, slurp. Killed them. That's what I did with all 3 of them. All on the same team. Killed them. And I sure did. I got up with my little Go Fish cards because we wasn't playing with a real deck of cards. There's an actual Go Fish game with fish on it. So I'm walking around with all my cards, fanning them out. Killed y'all. In your face. In your face. The only one who really took it in stride was the little baby. Because I would get this close to their face when I would say in your face. She thought that was funny. She thought it was funny. In your face! Mrs. Livingston, And the little girl, they didn't think it was that funny. Why you gotta be all in somebody's face? Why you mad? Why you mad? Because y'all lost that goldfish and I'm dominating in this house. That's right, I'm the man in this house. I run goldfish up in this house. It really is a stupid game, though. But it was fun. I enjoyed playing with the little baby. But she is a cheater. She is a cheater. All right, that's about it about that. I just had to get that out. I don't know why I had to get it out. Nobody asked. But I figured I would share. All right. So one of the big stories everybody's making a big to-do about is in Alabama. The state of Alabama. Where, you get a lot of weird stuff out of. Alabama's ruling that frozen embryos are children. Frozen embryos are children. I'm going to tell y'all, this ain't that big of a deal. This ain't that big of a deal. On the surface, the idea that frozen embryos are children sounds like a huge deal, dealing with abortion and all of that kind of stuff. Like maybe the abortion rights activists or the anti-abortion activists won this great case in the Alabama Supreme Court, but that's not what the case was about. Will people attempt to misuse it for those purposes? Sure. Here's what the case is about, and I'm reading this. This is kind of a synopsis of the actual case that was brought that ended up at the Alabama Supreme Court. Okay, there were 3 couples that had pursued in vitro fertilization treatment at a clinic in Mobile, Alabama. At a point in 2020, a hospital patient, and the hospital was operated by the same clinic, entered the place where the frozen embryos were stored. So again, 3 couples had frozen embryos at a clinic. There was a hospital patient who entered into this clinic where the frozen embryos were stored. And that hospital patient handled some of the embryos. In the process, burned his hand. Because how things just so hot, they'll burn you. Burned his hand, or her hand, it doesn't really say he. Burned their hand, dropped the embryos, destroying them. This led to a lawsuit from the 3 couples. They had a variety of theories in the suit, one of which was that the state's wrongful death of a minor law treated those frozen embryos as children or persons. And the Alabama Supreme Court agreed with them this Friday. So this was less of a, you can't abort an embryo because it's a child type of case, which is the way that I feel like it's being discussed. This was more of a damage of property case. I got some embryos at the hospital that somehow somebody at the hospital destroyed my embryos. Me and Ms. Livingston want to have a baby when we turn 75. We got some frozen embryos there, and some idiot comes and breaks something and destroys our embryos. How can we be made whole? I got an idea. We'll say that is wrongful death of a minor. They destroyed our embryos. That's wrongful death of a minor. It's an interesting case there. You destroyed my embryo. So does that mean now that somebody at the hospital is criminally liable for wrongful death of a minor for destroying those embryos? Now, again, will some anti-abortion person or organization try to capitalize on this and say, oh, if you get an abortion, then you're destroying an embryo, and that embryo is an actual child, so you're guilty of killing a child. That's possible. It's possible that somebody will try that. It actually sounds like something that could happen. Or that will happen. But that wasn't the case at hand. So as you hear about this, Alabama Supreme Court rules that embryos are children, it really was, Ron Omega says, read what they based the case, smile on again, please. There were these couples that had their embryos at this clinic. Someone accidentally broke something, destroying these embryos. The couples wanted to basically be made whole. You destroyed our property. And one of the variety of theories in the lawsuit was to sue for wrongful death of a minor. And that was what they did. Wrongful death of a minor. And the Alabama Supreme Court agreed with that theory on Friday. So this wasn't an abortion call. This was, you broke my stuff, and now I got to find some clever legal theory to exact my revenge. That's it. I don't, and I was listening to a legal person. I don't want to say they're an expert. I don't know if they're an expert or not. But there was a legal person who was saying there's very little chance that this spreads around the country. Of course, I didn't read the decision by the Alabama Supreme Court. I might actually do that at some point. But they were saying that the way that the Alabama Supreme Court wrote the decision weighs very heavily on the Alabama Constitution's definition of what a human is and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily translate in federal terms. So that this is an Alabama thing. No one else will be able to use this, and, sure, they'll try, but no one else will really be able to take this and say, we have a ruling that says embryos are children in Texas or in Florida or in Georgia or in Mississippi or whatever. They won't be able to say that because they say this is so tailored to Alabama law that probably the Supreme Court wouldn't even take this case up because it's such a state case. And again, Cindy, to the point that I think Cindy may be trying to make, yeah, the person that dropped the frozen embryos is maybe a murderer. I think you have to say murderer like that. You can't just say he's a murderer. That sounds so understated. He's a murderer. So, yeah, that's the case. It's actually not as exciting as it sounds. It's not as exciting as it sounds, and, doesn't have ripple effects like people might think. Ron says, what if the state laws are similar to Alabama's? Then again, someone could try that, but they're not Alabama's laws, so they can't necessarily, well, you can try anything, but it doesn't really work to say, well, Alabama said that this is this case legally, so it has to be the case here legally. Like they can't say, and I'm just using this is not the case, and I know, so trust me, I know there's a flaw with this analogy, but you can't say, well, the speed limit in Ohio is 55, so the speed limit in Kentucky has to be 55. Like, no. If they say this is their speed limit, this is their speed limit. And when you cross over, you got to obey their rules. You can't say, well, because they said it over there, we got similar rules, so it had to be the case over here. Again, I know speed limit was a bad analogy to use, but that's the point I'm making is if they have similar laws, someone would have to bring probably a similar lawsuit, and it would have to make its way through the court systems. I'm certain it gave someone an idea to use it, but this is not an abortion case. This is not an abortion case. When it becomes an abortion case, which maybe in Alabama, they'll be able to use this. They'll be able to use this as an abortion case. But I heard on the Lincoln Ware show today. I heard on the Lincoln Ware show, I think it was Raven Monday, was saying, why are they always trying to tell a woman and deal with her reproductive rights, but nobody say anything about men? This wasn't a legislature crafting some kind of law saying, women, you can't do this with your reproductive rights. This was a lawsuit by someone. Jack says, this is almost like the abortion topic. We shouldn't touch it. I can see where you're saying that. I think I'm really just trying to point out that it's not like the abortion topic, because this had nothing to do with abortion. And what do you do? I mean, when you really think about it, if me and Mrs. Livingston are freezing embryos, freezing a fertilized egg to maybe implant in her later on, then, you know what? Somebody destroys those and say she ain't got no more eggs for us to do whatever. What can we do to be made whole? Her eggs is all gone. She had some saved up, but y'all destroyed them all. What can we do to be made whole? And they just came up with a legal theory. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. Because again, if that is a child and you accidentally, I guess, kill an unborn child, ain't that murder? So that's kind of what they're setting up. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I understand it, and we'll see where everything goes from here. I don't recall whether or not Lincoln described the case, so I did assume it was an abortion case when I said that. Yeah. I know a lot of people aren't. If you're just watching the national news, it's a big headline, and it does seem like it would apply to an abortion case. But that's why I wanted to see what it was actually about and just kind of put that out there. But to answer your question, they're never going to make a law to make it illegal to jack off. It's like, oh, sperm is alive. That's a living, that's a child. So then, come on. It's not even reasonable. It's not even reasonable. Plus, you know how many teenagers would be guilty of murder? Hell, I'm a grown man. I would be guilty of murder. I got a whole wife. So, it's not a reasonable thing. I think in cases like that, women, here's what you have to realize and recognize, which I think gets lost in modern society. There's different rules for men and women. Because our bodies are different. Our reproductive systems are different. There's gonna be different rules. There's gonna be different rules. So you can't compare people trying to regulate your reproductive stuff to our reproductive stuff. You can't compare those. You have so many more rights in that whole reproductive process that you're gonna have more responsibilities. What did Uncle Ben say? With great power comes great responsibility. Come on, we all know that. You read Spider-Man. You didn't have to read it. Just watch any of the shows. Any of the Spider-Man origin stories. Uncle Ben said it. How many times have Uncle Ben said that? And I'm not talking about the Rice dude. If you don't know nothing about comic books, I'm not talking about the Rice dude. So women, just get over that. Just get over that. That's just a fact of life for y'all. What else we got? Let me see. I see Ron here. Am I in the mood to argue with Ron? I'm not in the mood to argue with Ron yet. Ron, I do have to ask you, since you're here, what do you think about the FBI charging the guy who gave y'all all of that amazing evidence against Joe Biden, saying he's a liar? He made that ish up. He lied. And he's being charged for it. What do you think about that? Just curious about your thoughts. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm just here to ask you your thoughts. You still want to see Biden impeached based on lies? You have to say lies like that too. If you just say based on some lies, it don't have the same oomph. Are you ready to say, oh, I might have been duped about this whole Biden, Burisma, Ukrainian, all of that stuff? This was a Russian, potentially, a Russian operative trying to sow or plant misinformation and sow seeds of doubt and lies into the election. Russia trying to interfere with American elections again. Just curious about what you think about that. Now that the facts are no longer accepted as fact. Give it some thought. I know you've heard the story, you've done some research. I want to know what you think. Again, I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm just here to hear your thoughts. Ron, call me. Call me. You know it's hard to have a little bit of a debate while you're sending messages and I'm responding to them and all of that kind of stuff. I won't understand what you're saying via messages. So you got to call me. And I'll listen to you. I'll give you plenty of time to speak. And I want to understand. Because I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure I'm missing something. Why would a FBI, all those things, turn around and say, oh, I lied? It just doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. It ain't over till it's over. I don't understand. I don't understand. Daryl says, call out Wyatt too. Well, I'm certain Wyatt is, he didn't do his, or at least I don't think, I looked for his show and it wasn't on. Did Wyatt do his show today? I didn't see a show today from Wyatt. So I'm certain he's out, doing whatever it is that he said he had to do. For those of you wondering Apparently, what is his name? Alexander Smirnov. Is that his name? He was one of he was their main witness who said, basically, and if I get it in this wrong, Ron, please correct me. Basically, he said, you know what? I talked to the Ukrainians, and they told me that Biden was using his vice presidential authority to do some shady stuff. And he passed that information on to the Republicans, and the Republicans were mainly relying on this guy's word to say all of that stuff that they've been saying. Oh, he did this and he did that, and he tried to get this Ukrainian guy, but he was only doing that so that him and Hunter and Burisma, and they could make $10 million and blah, blah, blah. So the FBI charged him with fabricating those claims about a bribery scheme involving Joe and Hunter and a Ukrainian energy company. So the FBI right now says he lied. And basically, he's a Russian operative. So that saying that, hey, this dude is a liar, kind of derails their story. Now, is it possible, Joe Biden is the president now, and maybe he's telling the FBI, he's instructing them, like, look, I'm under the gun now. Y'all need to indict that dude and call him a liar. And if y'all indict him and call him a liar, then a lot of people will believe y'all. Takes away all of their credibility. That's also possible. It's also possible. I'm certain that the people who believe, basically the people who want to see Donald Trump as president, because that's really the only people who believe in this whole story. People who want to see Donald Trump as president. They want to believe this story. But I guarantee you, those same people, if the FBI came out and indicted E. Jean Carroll and said, we have proof that she lied about Donald Trump and he did not stick his fingers in her vagina, they'd be like, see, I told y'all. See, I told y'all. They lied on our president. They wouldn't be like, why would the FBI be doing this? Why would the FBI be calling an informant a liar? Why would they would just accept it as fact because it plays in their favor. But, we'll see. I wonder where that impeachment inquiry is going to go now. I want to talk about this dude accused of killing his 3 sons. And his defense wants his confession thrown out. Anybody heard, what was it, Claremont County? I hate to say it, but if what the defense is saying is true, they got to throw his confession out. And the only people to be blamed are the police. If what the defense is saying is true, now I can't say with any degree of certainty that what the police is saying, what the defense is saying is true. And I fear that is it a judge or a magistrate looking at this right now? I fear that they might not get a fair shake. The defense team claims that Claremont County Sheriff's deputies violated his rights in the hours and days following his arrest. Now, Cindy says, and I'm kind of with you, Cindy, except I'm kind of with you, Cindy. Cindy says he hunted them boys down in the front yard and neighbors watched. Okay. So then hopefully they got enough evidence without the confession. Because if what they're saying is true and the judge or the court follow what I believe to be the law, them confessions is getting tossed. And they should be. They're saying in their motion to suppress, they say he invoked his right to counsel at least twice during his interrogation, which lasted more than 3 hours. Detectives ignored Mr. Dorman's request and continued to question him as if he didn't ask for an attorney. That right there should get his confession and anything he said during that interrogation tossed. It's certain things, those constitutional rights are there to protect all of us. And there's a right way to go about, getting evidence and confessions and all that kind of stuff. And there's a wrong way to go about it. And that's there for all of our protection. And look, I get if he, which I guess I got no reason to believe that he didn't. But if he did exactly what they say he did, if he did exactly what they say he did, that's terrible. And they should have just follow the rules. If that man says, I want an attorney, stop questioning him and get him an attorney. And people will say, oh, he's trying to get off on a technicality. But he should not get off, because that just means that evidence they can't use. But if they got all of these witnesses, they can bring in witnesses. Those witnesses was there. They saw what happened. They should still be able to say, this is what I saw, this is what he did, and present the other evidence that they have. But we can't be okay. And again, this is if what the defense is saying happened. What, Facebook got rid of you for something? Wait a minute. Hold on. Daryl, I'm trying to put your comment up. Daryl says, how can you murder your own kids over a spousal dispute? Just burn that fool and skip the trial. I don't know if I agree with that. We all need a trial. We all deserve a trial. Look at the facts and render a decision. We can't. Yeah, I saw that. We can't come to the conclusion before we try the facts. I will never agree to that. I understand some crimes are so heinous that we want to see immediate justice. I understand that. But we live in a system, thank goodness, that affords us some level of due process. And we should all be for that due process. Again, if everything is the way that it's being reported, they should have plenty. They should have plenty of evidence without his confession to prove that he did what he did. But why didn't they just stop? Why didn't they just stop? When you say, I want my attorney, they all know the rules. They say after he was booked into a Claremont County jail, his right to privacy was violated. When seen by healthcare workers, the defense says deputies actively made themselves present in his jail cell for privileged communications and recorded them. They're not supposed to do that. Why? I mean, when you got a slam dunk case, why break the rules? Why break the rules? And again, if he's a monster, just get the monster. Get the monster legally and rightfully. See, some of the times they mess up cases. You know, we be all right with it. Like, well, what he did was wrong, so it don't matter if you stomp on his rights. And I'm always trying to get y'all to understand that if it's okay for them to stomp on his rights, it's not that far of a stretch if you do something that they don't like. I really didn't like that. It's a right to stomp on people's rights who you don't like, so let me stomp on his rights too. We can't be okay with that. We can't be okay with that. Next thing, they're going to be coercing confessions, torturing people. Well, he a monster, so it's okay for him to torture him. No, we can't be okay with that. So, again, this is if, I'm stressing, if what the defense is saying is true. They got to toss that confession and any other information that they got. And hopefully any other information that they got doesn't tie to some other evidence that they have that now they can't use. If those sheriffs did that, they should be out of jobs. What else? There was at least one other story that I had that I wanted to discuss. I hate when this happens. Y'all know I don't have time to do a lot of show prep before my show. People mad at Malia Obama. People mad at Malia Obama. She's debuted her short film. And she dropped the Obama. She went by Malia Ann, not Malia Obama. And there were people mad at her. I understand it. I think it's not necessarily a good move. I understand people who do it, but it might not be the best move, Malia. Use that name. Use that name. I understand people like, no, I want to make it on my own. I don't want to make it off my name. I don't want to this and that. Like, no. Who am I to say no? Who am I to say that you can't do that? So I guess I'm not here to say you can't do it, but I would actually say do it. Everybody else does it. Jenna Bush She ain't on Today because she's some great TV personality or reporter. She's on there because she's a Bush. Meghan McCain, she wasn't on The View because she was some great commentator. She was on there because she's a McCain. Sarah Huckabee Sanders ain't the governor because she's some great mind. Mike Huckabee was the governor at one point, and she capitalized on that. Why do you think she didn't drop Huckabee when she got married? There's a reason why they don't drop those names, because they want to capitalize on those names. Sanford and Son, that might not be the best example, but there are a lot of so-and-so and son. Use that legacy. Use that legacy. Don't be ashamed of it. And I hear a lot of people, there are a lot of people who do that. I'm like, You keep that. Capitalize on it. Use it to your advantage. As a parent, if I left some sort of legacy for my child where their role would be easier, if not made, by capitalizing on my name, I would be like, if you don't use the name, use a fool. If you don't use the name, something wrong with you. That's why I worked hard. So I'm not mad at her for dropping it. I'm not mad at her for dropping it. I want to make it on my own. I don't want to ride my dad's coattails and blah, blah, blah. I understand it. I get it. I wouldn't do it. I'd be like Gerald Levert, name my group Levert. And when I hear people, like I remember hearing Gerald Levert in a interview or reading an interview where he was basically saying, I didn't receive any, I wanted to make it on my own. I didn't receive any advantage from my dad being it. I'm like, of course you did. You had more contacts in the industry. And then I think I saw an interview where he kind of backtracked on that. And he was like, there was no way for me to get around being Eddie Levert's son. And yeah, I took advantage of some of those things that other people would not have had the opportunity to take advantage of. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's why Eddie went out there sweating and humping monitors and all that kind of stuff for all of those years. For you and your brother to take advantage. He was fat face on lie. He was. But he backtracked on it. I saw an interview where he backtracked on it. Because at some point you have to realize, you know what I'm saying, if you gotta, especially if you're in the same field, you gotta realize you have to take advantage of that. Make sure I got that fame.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm absolutely pleasant, but I don't really go by fame anymore. It's Blammy.
It's what?
Blammy.
Blammy.
Yeah, Blammy. Okay. Blammy Davis Jr.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that Obama girl. She's delusional. I don't know what you think. You're the only black kid. You and your sister are the only black kids that ever grew up in the White House. You're never going to be able to escape your father's last name under no circumstance. He's too historical of a guy. World historical. First black U.S. president. You ain't escaping that name, so I don't know what you're thinking. You may as well use it to the fullest.
But you do, again, I do understand the idea that I want to make it on my own and not on my father's name. I understand that, but
I understand that as well, but there's also a thing called delusion. Reality, that's never going to happen with you two. Maybe with your kids, there'll be if you hyphenate your names or something like that. Your kids won't necessarily be able to capitalize off Obama's name, but you two, it's almost ridiculous if you don't.
right.
It shows a level of delusion. Look at Bronny James. Ain't barely good as a high school player. They talk about putting him in the NBA in the next year. Why? Because his name's LeBron James Jr., a.k.a. Bronny. Got the most childish nickname ever, Bronny, Lil Bronny. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's the most childish ever, but yes, I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, what are you thinking here, young lady? And you both of you, Sasha and Malia, you both have a $10 million book deal waiting on you. The minute you decide you want to talk about being black growing up in the White House. That's a $10 million book right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So I just found I was arguing with another lady in some group, with some lady in a group about that. Like, no. She saying that same old, leaving her father's name. Why? Why the hell would you do that? Such a history. There's only probably 20 names in the whole world that matter. 20 family names in the world that matter. Obama's one of them. Whether you thought he was a good president or not, he's one of them. Why the hell would you leave that? Paris Hilton didn't leave that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? The Toyota family, the Walmart family, the Waltons, they don't leave that.
Like I said, them Bush twins who was drunk all up in the White House. Now, you know what I'm saying, one of them got a spot on the Today Show.
She did. Kelly Rowland took her spot.
Because she's a Bush. That's the only reason why she's there.
Her name, she hyphenates it professionally. Jenna Bush Hager.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it was those white kids that they started hanging out with, the Obama twins, the Baba girls. Maybe those white kids they started hanging out with, and they didn't like his name because their parents didn't like him or whatever. I don't know what it was, but these girls, the one that's trying that, I forget which one it is,
Malia.
She's delusional. Malia, she's delusional. Clearly delusional. You understand what I'm saying?
And the fact that, she's at least at this point in the film, trying to be in the film business, and her mother and father have this production deal with, I believe, Netflix. Like, I would be attempting to capitalize on that as well. Trump didn't say, Dad, I don't want none of your money to, become a successful real estate guy. Like, nah, Dad, I'm gonna use the name. Give me $1 million to get started, and any contacts you got. You don't throw that stuff away.
No, you do not. I guess on some level, it is the continuation of the disrespect of the black man. That the only black presidents, children are trying to. I don't want to say disowning, but not use his name and whatnot. Like that. That just sounds foolish. It don't even sound reasonable to me at all. What this little girl's trying.
I agree.
Say what?
I agree.
Oh, okay. And lastly, I'm just gonna say this in closing. To sum up Fani Willis. I know it's kind of getting old, but let's just be honest. She basically confirmed what we already suspected. She is an unrelenting, unmitigated, and unconscionable asshole, based on her testimony.
I don't know.
And that's all I got to say.
I don't know that I wholeheartedly agree with that.
But you agree on some level. You said wholeheartedly. Okay, well that's enough. That's all you need to agree with is on some level. You don't need to agree at all. She on some level she is an unmitigated, unrelenting, and unconscionable asshole. And that's all that needs to be said about it. You agree it on some level, just like you agree on some level that this Obama girl is trending unmitigated, unrelenting, and unconscionable asshole by trying to get away from her father's name and legacy. Okay, you don't have to, go into politics, but yeah, you need to use that name because, like you said, I just watched 2 Obama movies in the last 2 weeks on Netflix. What was that, Rustin, and what was that movie about? The
thing, yeah.
end of the world. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so, but you've got his traits of wanting to be in the movies. So why would you not want to carry his name? None of it makes sense, which clearly shows for the third time that she is an unrelenting, unmitigated, and unconscionable young asshole. And that's all I got to say. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, Emanuel. I like to tell the experimenters, I will be up at Springdale Park hooping. Anybody wants to bring a basketball and have me snatch their ankles. Oh!
he gonna be at the park hooping. All right. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? All right. Janice says, I'm sure Melina has some credible reason for eliminating her last name. I'm sure she discussed it with her parents. I want to make it on my own. I don't want to make it off the strength that I'm your daughter. Like, if I had, created some sort of legacy, and my daughter came to me and said, Dad, I want to go in some field, either the same field as you or some field adjacent to you. But I don't want people to give me a shot because I'm your daughter. I want to make it on my own, so I'm not going to use the name Livingston. I wouldn't be mad at her. I would tell her, I think it's a bad idea. You got to use whatever you got to get your foot in the door and then, bust the door open with your skills. But my name will get you in the door. Use it. But if she said, I just don't want to, I wouldn't be mad at her. I wouldn't be mad at her at all. I wouldn't be offended. But I do understand how, some people could feel like, I think it's foolish. But I'm not mad at her about it. Some people are mad at her about it, which is what this story was about, all of the people giving her all kind of grief about it. I'm not mad at her about it. But I wouldn't do it. Let's see. What else? I think that's about all of the stories that I got right now on the top. Oh, hold on. This Fonnie Willis. It's Fonnie Willis, ain't it? Yeah, Fonnie. Can I tell y'all, I think Fonnie made some mistakes. I think she made some mistakes testifying. I think she made some mistakes. Like, it really is one of those things where, this is what I do, and I can outsmart you. I know my job better than you know my job. And I think she got up there. I think she had some access to her. And when you're emotional, sometimes you don't think the clearest. I think Fifth Amendment, simple answers goes a long way. Once you start, do they call it monologuing? I don't know if technically that was what she did. But once you start talking too much, like even at some point, I believe that was her representation over there. Like, objection, Your Honor, question was asked and answered. And she like, no. Oh, I want to answer this. And I'm like, no, Bonnie, no. Let your lawyer object to stuff. Like, no. I think that there were definitely some mistakes made on her part. I don't know what the judge is going to decide. I don't know what the judge is going to decide. But can I tell y'all this? Paying with cash is not necessarily a catch-all. So I didn't do nothing illegal. I paid with cash. They can't trace it. Not really. That's not necessarily the case. Not really. She might actually be caught up in some stuff. I agree with Wyatt to a great degree. She might have caught herself up in some stuff that if she would have just not did so much talking, she wouldn't be in. She might have talked herself up on some charges, potentially. I'm not saying 100% certainty. I don't know. I'm not a, I'm not saying with 100% certainty, oh, she going to be charged in the next. No, she may or may not. But if she is, I think she might have brought some of that on herself. She might have brought some of that on herself. Sometimes you just shut up. And you always know, you know what I'm saying? People mad and they want to tell their story. Like, nah, I want to tell my story. You like, I think as a lawyer, I've talked to a lawyer or two. And the few that I've talked to, where they like, she want to tell her story. Lawyers love that. Lawyers love a witness that just want to talk. Because you can shut them down when you need to shut them down. But when they incriminating themselves, let them talk. Let them talk. Hold on, DeAndre. DeAndre says, when you calling in the Lincoln Show? I'm not calling Lincoln Show. I told y'all I gave up the privilege to call for Black Lion to have the ability to call. And unless Lincoln Ware specifically says, I want Emanuel Livingston to call this show, I reinstate your privileges. I'm probably not going to call in. That hasn't changed just because he beefing with me. But I'm not beefing with him, by the way. I'm not mad at him. I did what I had to do. I feel good about it. And that's that. You said he was not speaking to you ever again, then you would call. I'm just one of those people. I'm just one of those people where if you say to me, hey, don't talk to me, it make me want to talk to you. But I gave up that privilege. And unless he says that, I probably won't be calling this show. I'm not banned, not to my knowledge. I'm not banned or any of that kind of stuff. It's a decision that I made a while back. Janice says, I agree with you that Fani, pronounced Fani. Well, once I hear her say it, I'll know for sure how it's pronounced. And then I might still butcher it. Allowed her body language and over-explaining to tightly diminish the importance of her position. Did I say tightly? To slightly diminish the importance of her position. I feel like I said tightly. I don't know why. I just wish if she would have got up there, um, she would have given them as little as she possibly had to. Been as succinct as possible. And I know it looked good to some people. That's right, girl. Don't put up with nothing. Go tell them, girl. I know. I know for some people that felt good. She ain't taking no stuff. And for some people, like some of y'all, I think Janice at one point was like, turn it off. I can't take no more. And some people, I just don't want to see them put this woman in this position and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, y'all. I really did consider stopping because it was, kind of going on and on. Now, again, I could watch that all day. I could watch it all day. But I know for some people, it's like, oh, no, stop. I'm like, y'all, look. Y'all have to, we people, not just black people, we have to learn to, I don't want to say turn our emotions off, but be able to look at situations and listen to them and not let our emotions overtake us. You never know when you're going to be in a situation, in a courtroom or something like that. It could happen to anybody. It happened to me. You ain't did nothing wrong, but you find yourself in court defending yourself. And yes, Nate, somebody done lied on you. You want to set the record straight and all of that kind of stuff. People, attorneys are using all of those theatrics and all of that kind of stuff. Tell you, I remember sitting on the stand. And I remember that prosecutor hollering at me. Now, me, really kind of just because of who I am, I'm a different type of person, I think. I thought it was hilarious. And it was all I could do to not laugh. It really was like, this is some TV stuff. Like, come on. Do you really think you're going to be taken serious doing all of this TV stuff? But it was actually there. And I was on the brink of laughter, but at the same time, something was clicking in my head like, wait a minute. You're trying to put me in a cage. And so I was getting mad at the same time that I was looking at her thinking, this is ridiculous. You're ridiculous. And it would have been easy for me to switch to, aggressive and over talking and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like if you don't watch this stuff sometimes or make yourself aware of how things go, like the stuff you see on TV is not real. I just think, watching this stuff, number one, if you watched it, can't nobody tell you what happened or what was said. You saw and heard it for yourself. I got this bag of equipment down here. Had to run to the store and buy some stuff, and the bag was in my way. But you watched it yourself. So can't nobody tell you, oh, she did this, and she was this, and she rolled her neck, and she was, you know what you saw. It was a little bit of neck rolling, but you know what you saw. So I think, the people who wanted to turn it off, and I get, for some people, it ain't your thing. For some people, because some people's like, this is going to be the whole show. Okay, I'm out. This is boring. I understand those people are, that there are people who felt that way. But y'all, I like stuff like that. I like stuff like that. So I was when her daddy was on the stand. If I would have been on the air, I'd have did the same thing. I remember when we watched the boys who killed Ahmaud Arbery, and they put that boy on the stand. I did the same thing. I want to hear this stuff for myself. I don't need you to interpret what I heard. Well, some people, ain't nothing wrong with that, but I want to hear it. So yeah, I'm, it's one of the things that I enjoy doing. If we have presidential debates, and I can figure everything out to work the way it's supposed to work, I want to watch presidential debates together. All of that stuff. I didn't get a chance to watch as much of Mr. Wade. But the stuff I saw wasn't boring. The stuff I saw wasn't boring. And when you watch stuff like that, you ever not watch the trial, but heard jurors talking about this person wasn't believable, or this person was to this, or this person wasn't that, like they wasn't remorseful enough, or they didn't show enough remorse or show enough whatever. Like when you watching it and you like, man, Mr. Wade is boring. Like, I'm always fascinated how people can watch the same thing and get something totally different, because I wasn't bored with his testimony. Not the portion that I saw. And so a lot of it depends on, what people are looking for and all of that kind of stuff. But Carolyn said I needed her to come with that sass. Do we really? Do we really need all of that sass? Is there really ever a time when all that sass is appropriate? All that sass, most times, there might be a time, I can't really think of it right now, but most times, all that sass get on my damn nerves. Most times, it does. I remember when we first went to her, and I was like, she got that look on her face, like, a lot of this, I understand why she got that look on her face. She's upset and so on and so forth. But how some of y'all just had that look on y'all face walking through the grocery store. It's that sass. I knew that sass was getting ready to come out. For the most part, people don't like that. And I don't know if just women in general, if y'all think like, oh, that make me strong. It really, to a large degree, it just make you annoying. You don't have to have all that sass. And I don't know if it played well for her, again, for that judge. Because that's really who she's, kind of, you have to, forgive me for my wording, and hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. But you have to play to the audience that's making the decision. There was a judge there. That judge is the one who's making the decision. So you got to play to him. If there was a jury there making that decision, you got to play to the jury. You got to know your audience. Are you saying sass? Or I'm saying sass. Sass. So much sass that it seemed childish. At times it did. And again, I understand. I know it sounds like crazy, like I'm contradicting myself, but I understand it. I understand being upset. I understand, like Nate said, wanting to set the record straight, wanting to clear your name. I understand that. Wanting to, one up the person that's personally challenging you. Wanting to, basically get up in the face of the person that's lying on you. I understand it. I'm just not sure, again, how it came off. Of course, each of us perceive things differently. We're viewing it from different vantage points and perceptions or perspectives. But now I'm talking just in general, not even just in a courtroom setting. But ladies, all that sass is annoying. It's just annoying. Oh, she's a strong, independent sister. Like, nah, she's just a sassy, Nobody want to deal with all of that. I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? That's probably why dude told her, like, the only thing you can do for me is make me a sandwich. Like, all that sass. I don't need all of that. I'ma hit it. You make me a sandwich, I'm out. Because I don't want to deal with everything else that come with you. Get me some money. Make me a sandwich. Give up the draws. That's all I need. Because everything else is too much. Be pleasant. Try. Cooperative. Try. Nobody want all that sass. Could he hit it? Apparently he could hit it sometimes. Apparently sometimes he could hit it. Other times, apparently there were some medical issues that kept him from hitting it. I didn't like the fact that she put that out there. I didn't see his whole testimony, but he didn't try to bust her out like, like she was mad at him. She had an axe to grind with him. And then she brought that up. And then gonna say, I don't really want to emasculate a black man on TV. Then you could have kept that. There was nowhere in the question about whether or not he could get it up. At no point when I was watching that did anybody ask her, like, how was he in bed? You know what I'm saying? Nobody. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a woman, but I really only hear women say stuff like that when they mad at a man. When they mad at a man. Which, again, I didn't watch her testimony from very beginning to very end. But, so I don't know how their relationship ended. Again, it was clearly toxic. It was clearly toxic. LaDonna said, I couldn't believe she told that. And then gonna try to act like, oh, but I don't want to. Stop it. You knew what you was doing when you said it. because they was asking her stuff about it. And said, oh, I want to get into that. Oh, I want to get into that. LaDonna said that would have lost me like F you and that sandwich. Well, I mean, I don't perceive that that's a comment that you make during a pleasant conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, LaDonna, I'm single, you single, we kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I beat it up every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. We having a decent conversation. And then, you like, so what do you really like in a woman? And I'm like, well, baby, the only thing a woman can do for me is make a sandwich. That don't sound like a pleasant conversation when that gets brought up. That sound like, one of them, you being too sassy, you talking all that stuff, you acting like you the big this and you the big that. Oh, I can hold my own. I can run my own. I don't need no man. I'm this, I'm that. I'm the prize. I'm not. And I'm like, bitch, the only thing a woman can do for me is make me a sandwich. That feel like a response to something and not just the beginning of a conversation. But who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just some dude. For the sassy women, go ahead, be sassy. For the sassy women, go on, be sassy. I'm sure that works for y'all. I'm not, Brent.
Hey, what's going on, E-Man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah. Hey, on President's Day, I was thinking about Martin Van Buren. Just trying to remember what in the world did he do as president, and I couldn't think of anything. So.
Yeah, but I know the secret sign. I know the secret sign. So.
but I know you're talking about that case down there. Well, it's not even a case; it's just a hearing to determine if Fonnie is going to be able to continue on her and was Mr. Willis? Is that his name?
Wade. Even though one of the attorneys accidentally called him Mr. Willis a few times.
That's right. Her last name is Willis. So yeah, but I can almost guarantee you that LaDonna doesn't want to talk about that. What she wants me and you to talk about is the wrestling report.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, first, after I called last time, Jabroni Jason called after me and said I didn't cover everything for WrestleMania. Is that what?
Yeah.
What I recall.
You didn't do a good wrestling report.
Well, he was talking about all the matches that are supposed to occur on WrestleMania, which number one isn't set, and number two isn't for another 2 months. So once we get closer, we'll talk about that. But he metaphorically tried to take me out, and you know what? He didn't get the job done. So the next time we meet on this Facebook Live streets, it's going to be on like a pot of neck bones.
That's funny, y'all. It's funny. Just trust me.
Oh, yeah. Mix a little Booker T in there with, classic wrestling comebacks. Yeah, if you don't get the job done, that means you're coming back with a vengeance. That's right. But Monday Night Raw, we had the reemergence of Versace Rock. Well, he came out there. I guess his arms got too big and had to cut the sleeves off. But which is a good for him. But it was nice.
What did you think about the promo? What did you think about it?
The promo, I'm surprised they allowed it to go as far as it did in terms of him calling
the Mormons a bunch of inbred
Yeah.
folks with multiple wives. I was like, oh, that's staying on there. They're not muting his mic, but I guess he's the chairman of the board. But it was good to see heel Rock. It's been so long since we've seen a truly heel Rock. So I got a kick out of it from that standpoint. But one thing I noticed, and other folks noticed too, is that once he gave the whole, everyone stood there with their fingers up, that's Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. He wasn't doing no acknowledge me. He was doing like bang bang scissor gang. He was giving guns up.
Yes.
So that's making me believe that something's going to happen at WrestleMania to where we are going to see that Rock versus Roman, but probably at SummerSlam. So he's going to cause him to lose the title.
You think so?
So
you don't think he's going to lose it at WrestleMania?
Well, no, I think he's going to cause. He's going to do something. He's going to interfere with the match. Cody is going to win the title, but it's going to be because of The Rock. The Rock is going to somehow make it down to ringside or already be at ringside.
Okay.
Because they still have, that's the other story they still have to tell, but all the Cody crybabies, saying no, we want Cody again. So, but I still don't see Cody as the top man in WWE. Now, top man in AEW, that I can see that, but to me, there are other people who are bigger, better, and more skilled
like who?
Than him. What Drew McIntyre has been doing, even since what the Royal Rumble, has been classic heel Drew McIntyre.
Some good heel work. Yeah, I agree. But
yeah.
I don't know to be the top guy. Drew McIntyre ain't moving merch. I'm not going to the show to see Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that new Drew McIntyre shirt where he took out CM Punk is number one out of all the shirts now.
But that's more of a CM Punk thing, if you ask me.
But it's still, he's the one getting the money for it.
So, I'm sure CM Punk is getting some of that money. His name on there.
Mm-hmm. But he's moving ever since ever since R-Truth finally realized that he is not in judgment.
I'm still not thrilled with the buffoon R-Truth.
Yeah. There's parts of it that's like, man, it's hilarious, but can I get you some tea there, boss? Are you Motisa?
Yeah.
But with him, in one respect, it's like, well, man, that man has got a light bill too, and probably got a mortgage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But what you do there is like, but it's all a part of the stick where you have to have at least one black character play a comedy relief role. And just think if he was serious R-Truth that didn't have this, role, where would R-Truth be? They probably would have, future endeavored him like they did Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler wasn't going anywhere. He couldn't find a new niche. So he's able to find a new niche to prolong his career. And, probably, I'm sure he has his family set for life. So,
yeah.
So, But all right, well, that's all I had.
Well, hold on. I got to ask you about my girl before you go.
Sure.
What are they going to do with her? Because she's not in the elimination chamber. How are they going to work her in the mix? Because they got to work her in the mix soon. Jake, I'm talking about, of course.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to wind up starting off in a tag team. They're not going to, like I thought they were going to do, put a rocket on her back and shoot it to the top of the women's card. I think they gave that impression that that's what they're going to do, but apparently something ain't right off camera, or in the training room, or while they're working out, something's not right. So, and I don't know, but if they take too much longer in it, folks are going to be like, oh well, who is she again, and why were you telling me she was this great? To the folks who don't watch AEW,
right?
So that's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out. But
right.
But that's all I had. I'm distracted with work as usual, so let me get back in here and get back on the clock.
Hey, I appreciate the call.
All right, take it easy.
All right. All right. That was the wrestling report. Hey, don't hate, y'all. Don't hate. I have to what is it? DeAndre's point. I have to listen to people talk about NFL. I have to listen to people talk about the NFL so y'all can listen to us talk about wrestling. They both predetermined. So, what's the difference? Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, I don't know that I have much else. I did see, and I saw what Nate brought it up, and I was talking about it just a little bit earlier. I did see Daryl says, E-Man, stop. What am I stopping? They're both predetermined. They know who's going to win those games before they play them. Stop it. It's all made up. But yeah, Joe Biden, was it his brother, testified today? His brother testified today behind closed doors. I think Hunter is supposed to be testifying soon. I don't know exactly when, but Hunter is also supposed to be testifying. So we'll see what happens. But I want to ask, and again, it's a question. You know, when you say you want to ask, people get all, you know, what have the Republicans accomplished during this Congress? Since they took over the House, what significant, if any, accomplishment have they had? I mean, other than trying to impeach everybody. What legislation did they pass, or what other things did they do? I know they want to impeach everybody. They've had a lot of hearings about nothing. But what have they done? Fame says only thing predetermined are genetics. Oh, that ain't true. That ain't true. In the NFL, the person that, or the team, if they, you know, have a team that they want to win, they have all of the tools to make that happen. Holding. Really, that's all they really need. Holding. Ooh, touchdown pass. Holding. Ooh, touchdown run. Holding. It's all predetermined. It's all predetermined. There's stories and storylines. What have they even put on the table we can get behind? I'm asking because I don't know. Ron, can you help me? I mean, as a Republican advocate, although I get you're an independent, but as a Republican advocate, what have the Republicans accomplished? Somebody said they did, hold on, was agree with sending billions on top of billions to Ukraine and them fake Jews Israel. I don't know that those are fake Jews. I don't know. They seem like real people to me. They did get rid of a speaker and then took a while to find another speaker. And now they fighting about that speaker. um, Stefan accomplished more. I don't know. I pay attention to this stuff, a little bit, and I hear people pushing the Republicans. I hear people pushing the Republicans. But I don't see what the Republicans are actually doing. Tria says, I missed a Ron D call. No, he didn't call. He didn't call. He didn't call. I think he didn't call because he know it's over. And you can't, justify that stuff. And I mean, it's reasonable. Why argue a lost cause? So that's all reasonable. I'm not telling Ron to call. But no, you didn't miss it. Mom accused of letting 5-year-old wax nude women at salon. I didn't see that story. I did not see that story. Ron?
Really?
What?
Get justified? It ain't over. It ain't over till it's over. And I mean, make it make sense. Now, FBI whistleblower, okay? FBI whistleblower testified before Congress that Biden and them took $5 million. He didn't see them take $5 million.
Okay.
And then the FBI whistleblower, and you can't make this shit up, take upon himself to go ahead and say, "Oh, I lied. He ain't take that money. I ain't see him take it."
But wait,
now,
Ron,
first of all, wait a minute.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to let you finish,
okay.
But I want to ask. So you believe that just out of nowhere, the informant went to the FBI and said, "Oh, no, I was just playing. I lied," or did the FBI figure out that he lied, and so they charged him?
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Now, he worked for the FBI.
Well,
he worked for the
That's
same.
different than working.
No, wait a minute. Now, he knows they got all sorts of mechanisms and things at their disposal to figure out if he telling a lie or telling the truth. They know that. He know that.
Okay.
He know that.
All right.
So he gonna go ahead and tell a blatant lie before Congress.
Okay.
And with no protection.
All right.
No protection with whistleblower laws. No protection against anything. And just tell that lie and know he could be found out. No. And it wasn't like
Ron?
first of all,
Ron, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you going to let me get the question out?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you asserting that people don't lie even if they understand that there's a chance that their lie will be found out?
I know. I'm asserting that you are a whistleblower against the President of the United States. You are a whistleblower over the President
over the president of the United States.
Uh-huh.
You, the president has access to everything,
Okay.
everything that the FBI doesn't have precedence to. The United States government, the president has access to it, and you lying on the president, and you don't think you're gonna be found out. But I mean, it's it's neither here nor there because he confessed. Hey, I just I just don't it just don't make no sense to me.
But so
Just don't
but
make
you
no
do
sense.
agree it's
But
possible that he lied and that he's giving you guys false information.
I'm sorry.
You do agree that it's possible that he lied and he gave you guys false information.
Well, I mean, the FBI lied which in the Trump case with the Russia collusion thing. So I mean, that's possible. It's possible. Okay.
And if you find out that this guy was lying the whole time, giving
Okay.
misinformation, fabricating claims about bribery and other schemes involving Joe Biden, then
Okay.
does that change your mind about uh, Joe Biden being impeached and about how you would vote for?
Oh hell! It, hey man, listen. Oh, Biden would have to put the $1 million checks in all black folks' hands, and have taxes free for black folks for the next 50 years for me to vote for Biden. Hell no, I ain't
Why is
gonna vote
that?
for
Why
Biden.
is the bar so high for Biden yet so low for Trump?
Well, it ain't low for Trump.
Well,
It's
what
just
does Trump have to do?
no, wait. Well, first of all, the Biden the bar is set for Biden so high because he's such a shitty president. He just such a shitty president.
What?
He just
Okay, hold on.
and what's the truth?
No, I
You
want
don't
to. Hold on. I'm asking. I'm not accusing you. I want to understand what has he done or not done that makes him a shitty president.
Okay, where can I begin?
Anywhere.
he he canceled the Keystone Pipeline, which made us energy not dependent. Well, he made us energy. How can I put it? Deficient. Okay, I can just put it. I can just say that right off rip. He took people and he made people get the vaccine, made them have a choice. The doctors, nurses, teachers, everything to get a choice, whether to get a vaccine, get the vaccine, or keep their job.
Okay.
You know, and you fast forward. I mean, all the time he's letting all the problems that they said we had at the border when he got elected. They said we had a problem. It's a border crisis when he got elected. You know that Trump was keeping them in cages and all that other stuff. It's a border crisis. He said, come on in when he was campaigning. Now migrants are coming on in. Now we get to year 2. We get to year 2. Migrants coming on in, and supply chains are weak, and our Secretary of Transportation
isn't doing anything significant to do the things that he has to do to get the supply chains moving. And all the while, immigrants coming, and Texas and everybody saying, "Hey, immigrants coming. We got a problem here. Right? Now, that's about when Russia went ahead and invaded. Now Russia put them on notice, and then invaded Ukraine, spending money, and fast forward another year, spending money, migrant crisis. Texas and California, or not Texas and Arizona and everybody, tell them, hey, we got a problem, and we dogging out Abbott for going ahead and sending migrants up here.
Okay.
But they're telling them it's a migrant. It's a crisis.
Right.
Don't do nothing about it.
Immigration. Right. I get
No.
the issue. Go ahead.
It's not the immigration, but that's the thing that keeps going during all the crisis. Our pullout of Afghanistan was a total disaster.
Oh, no, so you wanted us to, so just so I understand, you want us to still be in Afghanistan?
No, I said the pullout of Afghanistan was a disaster.
So you don't have a problem with us not being there. You just don't like the way he did it.
Yeah, the pullout of Afghanistan was a disaster. All the time, he blaming the Trump administration for everything that's going on. All the time, blaming the Trump administration.
But just so I'm clear, Ron, just so I'm clear, you don't have a problem with us not being there. You just have a problem with the way he did it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We did. We left tons and tons of equipment there, and then they saying that they're using on Israel right now.
Okay.
Like I said, the way he handled the way he handling everything. He put to he gave indigenous people, Asian, indigenous, whatever, Asian people, special status, but still didn't address the issues that they asked him to address the issues on. He didn't address the George Floyd bill yet, and it doesn't make any difference. Congress and Senate could go ahead and do their job if he was trying to push it up there. He didn't address the John Lewis bill. Didn't address it at all, and didn't address it when they had the House and the Senate. They had the House and the Senate for 2 years. 2 years.
Ron?
2 years.
Ron.
Yeah.
Ron, I want to kind of take this backwards, if you don't mind. Because I'm not going to dispute anything you said, even though some of that stuff could be disputed. But I'm not going to dispute it. We're just going to accept that what Joe Biden did was wrong or bad or whatever, okay? So now let's contrast that with Donald Trump. What did Donald Trump do about the George Floyd bill?
He didn't have a George Floyd bill, but
because that happened when he was in office, if I'm correct, right?
But he didn't have a George Floyd bill.
Hold on, Ron. No, I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to defend.
It happened while he was in office.
Okay, so
while he was in office.
And so, Ron, what?
Okay.
Because if you're saying you won't vote for Joe Biden because of those things, then you have to contrast that with what Donald Trump did with those same things. So you said Biden is a shitty president.
No,
No, I don't. He didn't have a George Floyd bill. He had the.
Ron.
No, I don't. No, I don't. George Floyd happened.
If I can get it out. If I can get it out.
Okay, man.
You said Joe Biden is a shitty president because of the way he handles these things, right?
Okay.
So my question would be, with regard to George Floyd, which happened under his watch, what did Donald Trump do?
He didn't do nothing. Okay.
With regard to getting us out of Afghanistan, which you said you were for, what did Donald Trump do?
He didn't do anything because he wasn't president. He had a date set.
Hold on, wait, Ron.
He had a date set. Ron. He had a predetermined date set.
Ron.
He was not president at the time.
Ron. He was president, and he could have gotten us out anytime in the 4 years.
Man, you know what?
No, but wait, Ron.
You're asking what he did. Yeah. He set a predetermined date to get the troops out. That's what he did.
But he didn't get them out.
He was not president.
So he set a date that he might not be able to be in control of it.
Oh,
and that's, you think that's good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With regard to immigration, did Donald Trump stop immigrants from entering into the United States? Like, did our immigrations, they didn't exist?
He had the lowest immigration in history.
Well, there's no way to say
Google it. Google it.
That's not
Google it.
reasonable.
He had the lowest history, the lowest in recorded history, and that's you can Google that.
Well, again, that's not even reasonable to say. But what
he had the lowest. Wait a minute. It's not even reasonable to say.
No, it's not.
That
but Ron,
he had the lowest.
But Ron,
okay.
Don't get lost in that, because my answer is a simple one.
You said, what did he do for immigration?
My question is a simple
you
one.
asked me a question.
Ron, what did he actually do?
He negotiated the remain in Mexico in order to keep the border safe. He went ahead. You asked me what he did.
Hold on.
You asked me what he did.
Ron, I didn't understand the first sentence that you said. Look, I want to have a conversation with you, but sometimes I'm listening to you on the speaker, so I might not understand you. So I'm not stopping you to tell you you're wrong. I'm stopping you to say I didn't understand the first sentence that you said.
He organized the remain in Mexico. He made sure.
Wait, because again, I didn't understand. I think I'm missing a word or something. You said
remain in Mexico.
Who remained?
Remain.
Wait.
In Mexico. He
again,
had the policy.
Ron.
He had the policy of remain in Mexico.
Ron, I promise I'm not trying to be funny.
Okay.
I think I'm missing a word, because what I'm hearing you say, and you correct me, please. You said he organized remain in Mexico.
Man, you know I have a face. I can't remember the word I'm trying to use. So he had remain in Mexico. The policy of remain in Mexico. Damn it. That's why I be getting frustrated with your ass.
I don't understand.
Now,
policy of remain in Mexico. Don't everybody have a policy of remain in Mexico? If you ain't supposed to leave Mexico, remain in Mexico. Everybody got that policy. Hey man, the border policy was remain in Mexico. And anybody that came in Mexico with children and they didn't identify the children, he put them in the cages that Obama built. He put them in the cages that Obama built. That's why that's why he didn't have 90,000 children missing, unaccounted for. And that's why
and that's why he had the lowest recorded border in the history of them keeping records of the border crossings in history.
So what you're saying is what he did was he stated that there's a policy that if you are Mexican, you're supposed to remain in Mexico, and that's what
no. If you're crossing over into the United States, they have the policy of remaining in Mexico until your status can be verified or until they let you in.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you that one because I don't even understand what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
What else? I can't remember everything else you brought up. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But so you're saying Donald Trump?
I said the two. No, I want you to address it. You said that. You said all that other bull crap. I want you to address the Ukrainian war.
Okay? That's fine.
Yeah.
That's one that you can honestly say didn't happen while he was in office. So there's not. But in your mind.
No. He
stopped the Ukrainian war.
Yes, because two things. He instead of MREs that Obama sent with $250 million of MREs, that's the things that they eat. That's the things that they eat. That big blocks of shit. He sent tank busters. He sent tank busters. So he had tank busters on the routes that the line that Putin was trying to come across, and he eventually did come across, and he prevented war. He was the first president to step over into North Korea territory. He prevented. When he told Little Rocket Man, he went over. Wait a minute.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to understand what you're saying. So you're saying you're giving him credit for preventing war that nobody knows was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, using that, Ron, in all honesty, I'm giving him credit.
Wait.
Let me just get this out. Shut up. I promise. In all honesty, then, you could probably now give Joe Biden credit for preventing all wars that will happen after his term. That's not reasonable.
But see, anybody that's reasonable and not just trying to argue will see the point. Anybody that's just trying to
argue. I haven't told you that anything that you said was wrong.
Okay. Yeah. But see, all of us know how you are, and I ain't got. Oh, okay, that's your position. So he's the first. He's the first president to step into North Korea territory, and then go back to the White House and not have any. And as administration, in the last 3 years of his administration, he did not have any North Korea testing, not let alone firing missiles. And what's that? Joe Biden has 28 on his watch.
Well, but
28 on his watch.
Okay, and Ron, but you would have
28 on his watch.
Ron, but you would have to agree, Joe Biden has stopped a war with North Korea, right?
Hey, man. Hey. He's preventing the war from North Korea.
Right, yeah.
Hey. Yeah. But he ain't preventing them missiles from shooting and them testing rocket after rocket after rocket.
And you would have to agree, Ron. Ron, you would have to agree then that Joe Biden prevented a war with
Oh man, he
China
prevented a
and
war from. He prevented a war. He ain't preventing a war from China because we already at war with China.
hold
It's
on.
just it's
You
just
didn't let me get it out. See,
it's
that's
just
what I'm saying.
economic.
You didn't let me get it out.
Yeah.
He
With
prevented
Turkey,
a war with China.
with India,
He prevented a war with China
with
and Japan,
Japan,
right?
with Italy, with Romania. Yeah, but see, that's that foolishness. But you already
It's
know
the
what
same
But you
logic
know
that
what I'm
you're
talking about.
using. You're saying
Yeah,
Donald Trump
no,
prevented a war
yeah,
that
but
was
you
never
know,
about to happen.
but
It wasn't even on the verge.
hey, but
But
but you know what I'm talking about.
it's not. But you're
See, you
not.
can kick all
On
that.
some of it,
You
you're not
kick.
being reasonable.
You can kick all that foolishness if you want to, but you know what I'm talking about, and you know
I'm
what I'm
just saying
talking is
some of the
true.
stuff you're saying ain't.
You know what I'm talking.
And I'm not even.
Okay.
So in essence, what you're saying is, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what happens, no matter what, you are voting for Trump.
Oh man, listen, I got to vote for Trump.
Okay.
I vote for Trump anyway.
Right.
But man, what's the thing? What the thing of it? The whole thing about it is, man, and it's a Trump. I'm telling you, we at the end, and I'm gonna tell you again, we at the end of the book. I'm just curious to see
Hey, Ron,
who's playing who.
Ron,
Who?
may I ask you another
What?
question? And this
What?
is an honest question.
What?
Do you believe that we should have a president that sexually assaults women?
He sexually assault nobody.
He was found liable
he was found liable.
assaulting a woman.
No, he was
Yes.
found he was found liable. He was
Right.
found liable.
Right.
But wait. He didn't have. When you sexually assault somebody,
Uh-oh.
he was found liable in a suit.
Right.
In a suit.
Yes.
In a suit. In a civil suit.
Right.
In a civil suit. It was not criminal. When you sexually assault somebody, it is criminal.
Not necessarily.
It is criminal. And what's the trip is, what's the trip is, he was found guilty of, or he was found liable in a sexual assault that a person said
Ron,
that
you're avoiding the question.
He said
You're intentionally avoiding the question.
No. I'm like, man,
you are intentionally avoiding the question.
When I know that's bull, when I say it's bullshit,
the question is, do you think that a person who sexually assaults someone should be president?
Man, when I know that it's bullshit, yes.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not saying, Ron, whether he did it or not. I'm asking the simple question: do you think a person who sexually assaulted a woman should be president?
I think Donald J. Trump should be president.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm asking a simple question. Do you think that a person who sexually assaults a woman should be president?
If a person has proven to have sexually assaulted a woman in criminal court, no.
In criminal court. But in civil court, you cool.
No, because in civil court, it's hearsay. They're found liable.
Ron, can I do this? I don't think that someone who sexually assaults women should be the president.
Okay,
now, I don't know for sure that Donald Trump did or
just
didn't.
On that bullshit. But
no,
that's
reasonable.
You just on that bullshit.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I did not see him put his finger in that woman's vagina. I can't say that he did or he didn't.
He didn't even say he put his finger in her vagina.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, she did. She did. But anyway, look, you talking all that foolishness, man.
I'm just being honest about stuff.
But you know all that shit was political. That's what boy, look. This woman is waited 40 years.
Ron,
40
it shouldn't
years.
be that hard for anyone for anyone to say, I don't think
ain't
that someone
nobody
who
see
sexually
it.
assaults a woman
Ain't
should be the
nobody
president.
see
That
it.
shouldn't be
It's
difficult to say.
40 years. 40 years. And ain't nobody see it. And and the only witness she had is she went back and told her girlfriend, and that's what they based it on.
But Ron,
That's
here's
that
what you keep
bullshit.
missing.
They was
Ron,
hunting
this
for
is what you
him.
keep missing. I'm not
But
saying that
man,
Donald Trump
I,
did it. I just asked you the simple question: should
Donald
a
J.
person who
Donald J.
sexually
Trump should be
assaults a woman
president.
be president? And you can't
You
say
said
no
sexually.
because you
You
want
said
Donald Trump
sexually.
to be president.
Yeah, I do, and I ain't gonna say no because I'm not. You trying to hook me into all that old
No,
bullshit you
I'm
be on?
not. I told you
No,
I don't know if he did it.
man,
I didn't
look,
see it. I wasn't there. I don't
hey,
know.
man, you know what? It's way too serious right now in order for us to have that old bullshit ass conversation. Just have a real
That is a
conversation.
real
Shit,
conversation.
let's have a real conversation.
Ron, it is a
Well,
real
you know,
conversation to say to figure out
no,
that there are people who
hey,
refuse to say that an individual who sexually assaults someone shouldn't be the president. Now, whether or not you can
you know
argue whether
what?
or not you
It's,
believe
it's,
Donald Trump did it or didn't do it,
hey,
but it
you know
shouldn't
what?
be difficult to
Hey,
say that
you
a
know what?
person who
Hey,
sexually assaults
can
a
I ask a
woman
question?
should
Okay,
not be
can I ask a
president.
question?
That
Can
should
I ask a
not be
question?
hard to
Do you
say.
think? Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you think Joe Biden should be president again? I'm sorry.
I said
I'm sorry.
I said
I'm sorry.
I said
I'm sorry.
I said that denotes that I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
should
sorry.
he be president again?
It,
I would say
beyond me how
given the choices.
somebody would
Can I
be
get the
thinking about would be
can I get
thinking
the answer
about
out?
somebody.
Ron, can I get the answer out?
Go.
I would say given the choices that we currently have, yes.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
Oh, you didn't hear me? I would say given the choices that we currently have, yes.
Man, okay. See, we are, and we are headed towards four. No, I won't even say 4 wars. We are headed towards world war. World war. World war.
Okay, let's accept that as fact.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. No. Let me say something. Let me say something real serious.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. Let me say something real serious.
Okay.
We are headed towards 4 world wars.
4. There would, Ron,
China. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Just for my mental sake.
Oh no, I'm sorry. If we were, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This phase. We're heading towards World War III with 4 different nations.
Okay.
Different nations, and the Secretary of Defense,
mm-hmm.
the FBI,
okay.
and the Department of Defense,
okay.
you have all been saying, and people ain't saying shit like they ain't heard it. That the Chinese government has been trying to take down our grids for months, and there is an imminent terrorist attack threat. There is an imminent terrorist attack threat. Okay. Now,
We haven't got anything that Biden, promised. You know, we've gotten, you know, um, the the judge that he promised on the Supreme Court, the one who doesn't, the black woman who raising a woman who's been raised by a woman
Where are we going?
that can't define a woman.
Hold on. Where are we going?
That's what he did.
You
That's
just
that, that, no, that's what
wait,
that's what that, but
wait.
that's
Hold on.
wait.
Ron, I have to understand where we going. You
Where
this is
I'm
what
where
you
I'm
do
going
that frustrates me.
where I'm going is you will sit back. We got all these things that the left in the Biden administration, that the left has pushed on us, pushed on you. Hey, sir, can I have another? You don't, you're not at the radio station because of this Biden. It's your decision. It's your decision. But if you didn't have to make that decision,
Ron, Ron,
yes.
can we take these one at a time just so I understand the point that you're trying to make by bringing them up? You said they say
the point is you vote. You telling me you will vote for Biden? We got
Ron, I already answered that. I answered it clearly and definitively. But
see,
I wanna,
you'll criticize me. You'll criticize me.
who criticized you?
For
I didn't
voting for
criticize you.
No, you always trying to, dog me out and put me on as a Trumpster. You clearly a Republican and all that other stuff.
It's super clear.
No, I'm not. No,
and you
but no, I'm
saying
not.
earlier
But
that no matter what, you voting for Trump. So you can't say,
I
you
don't know no matter
criticize
what.
me for
I
being
only
a
got two
Trumpster.
choices.
You are
I only
an
got two
admitted
choices.
Trumpster.
I only got two choices.
But Ron,
I only got two choices.
Ron, I want
I
to
only got two
understand.
choices.
Ron, I'm just
I
trying
only
to
got two
understand.
choices.
I'm not trying to tell you that you're wrong. I'm just trying to understand.
No, but you can't tell me that I'm a Republican because I'm gonna vote for Trump when I only got two choices:
Ron,
a Democrat or a Republican.
but you don't. You have more than two choices. There's an independent.
No,
But Ron, I just want to understand. You ran through a couple things and you didn't tie anything together. So I just want to get the point.
all of that
Let
stuff.
me
It
get
is.
the question out, Ron.
Okay, go ahead.
You said there's an imminent threat of a terror attack.
Terrorist attack.
Okay, and Joe Biden hasn't, and you kind of abandoned that point. What was the point you were making by saying?
No, I'm saying, we just got to take things more serious. We got, all these issues, man. If you trying to vote for Biden, you just voting for the puppets that control him. And if you can't see this,
I want to get to the second. So in essence, you were making no point by saying that. But then you said, and the black woman who he put in the Supreme Court was raised by a woman, but don't know what a woman is. What was the point that you were making when you said that?
That was when I was telling you what Biden gave us. That's what Biden gave us. He didn't. I was saying that he didn't give us nothing that he said that he was going to give the black folk. That he gave us that. What else?
That was your point for saying that?
What else? Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand your point. So in essence, you brought up the imminent terrorist attack, and you had no point. And you brought up Jackson, and you had no point. So you just
man, you know what?
Trying to throw out incendiary stuff. And
no, I didn't.
But you didn't have a point.
You know what, man? It's a trick.
I just asked you what was the point you were trying to make, and you said You didn't have one.
I didn't say I didn't have one,
Okay,
Emmanuel.
so then what was
And
the
what
point you were trying
you
to
know
make?
what the trip is? You always you know, and it's a trip. You know,
All I'm doing is giving you an
I'm gonna
opportunity to make
wait.
your
You know,
point
I'm
so
gonna bring
that
you
I
back.
can understand it.
I'm getting, I'm getting better and better. You know, I'm getting better and better.
You are.
And my phaser is gonna leave
I believe it.
in a few. And my phaser
Amen.
gonna leave in a few. And
But you,
you know,
but you,
I'm gonna be able to go ahead and battle you like
I'm
I
not trying
need
to
to bag.
battle, Ron. I
No,
promise you,
you
I'm
trying
not
to
trying to
battle me
battle. I'm just
because
trying to understand.
no,
I
you
haven't
can't.
told you that you were wrong.
No,
I
because
haven't,
you
I've
said
said a few things that were
here and
nonsensical, but I haven't even really pressed you on those. I've just been asking questions. I'm really genuinely just trying to understand the point that you were making when you brought those things up. I'm not going to tell you your point is wrong or bad or disagree with it. I just want to understand it. So we're not battling, except the only battle is for me to understand what you're saying. And you brought up an imminent terror threat, but you said you had no point in bringing that up.
I didn't say that.
So then what was your point when you brought that up?
The point in bringing it up was we have more things to worry about, and it it is asinine to try to sit here and say that Biden is the one to go ahead and lead us through the things that we ready to get and that we're getting ready to go through with the leadership that he has shown in the last 3 years.
But have we
And
had
if
a terror
you say,
attack in the United States in the last
and if
3
you
years?
no, no and if you sit and if you sit and if you sit and if you sit and look in him and look at the last 3 years and say that we okay, and it's oh you look at Kensington, look at Kensington, Philadelphia, them folk falling over in the damn
You bringing something
street.
else up. Have we had a
Yeah,
terror attack in the past 3 years?
yeah, we had a terror attack at the border, but ain't nobody talking about it. Ain't nobody talking about it.
What was the terror attack at the border?
It's
I
called
missed it. Please
fentanyl.
tell me.
It's called fentanyl. It's called fentanyl.
Fentanyl didn't start
It's
coming
called
into the United States
it's
until Joe Biden took
it's
office.
it's called fentanyl. It's called fentanyl. No, but
So wait a minute. Wait,
there has
just so
there,
I
there
understand. I just want to understand,
no.
Ron.
But
So fentanyl is a terror
look
attack in your mind.
look at before Biden and
There
look
was
at after
fentanyl in
Biden.
the United
Look
States,
look
ravaging the
before
United States
look
before
at
Biden. Under
before
Trump,
Biden.
there were
Look at
fentanyl deaths.
yes, look at before like I said. Look at before Biden and look at
It
after
happened
Biden. It
before
was
Biden.
I said look before Biden. It happened before Biden.
Right. So wouldn't that
And
be
look
Donald Trump
and
responsible?
look
That
wait a
would be
minute
on Donald Trump's watch, right?
and look after Biden.
But wouldn't
And
that be
look
on Donald
after
Trump's
no,
watch?
no yeah, it would be on it would be on his watch.
Okay.
But look before Biden and look after Biden. Look before Biden and after Biden.
Okay. Okay.
Look at Hollywood Boulevard on the star on the Walk of Fame, the stars.
Oh Lord.
Look at it before Biden and look at it now. Look at Philly before, look at New York before Biden and look at it now.
People were dying of deaths from coronavirus before Biden.
Look at
It's true.
look at
All right.
yeah, a million people died.
Right.
A million people died on
Right.
coronavirus.
Right.
A million people died on Trump's watch.
Right.
But look at before Biden
Okay.
and look at
let's
after Biden.
After we're not after Biden yet, but okay.
Okay, look at Biden to date.
All right.
And I wish we were after Biden. Okay, Biden, Emanuel.
Ron, I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right. That was Ron. I spend a lot of time. I'm sorry, y'all. I spend a lot of time with Ron because I really do think like he's a study in how people, the lengths that people go to create a situation where they themselves are mentally able to accept Donald Trump. They, as some people say, they twist themselves in pretzels, knots, logically, to accept Donald Trump as the best candidate. Because it doesn't even jive with their own like morals and logic and reasoning. So they have to figure out a way to make it make sense to them. And that's why, for the most part, all I do is ask questions. And then you can see them twisting themselves up. It's not just Ron. I mean, Jordan Klepper and Luke Beasley and all of those guys who go out and talk to people at Trump rallies. All you have to do is watch a few of them. And they twist themselves into knots. Ron says, how I twist myself up. Ron, you wouldn't even say that a person who sexually assaults a woman shouldn't be the president. You wouldn't say it because that would mean that maybe Donald Trump shouldn't be the president. So you have to figure out a way to justify how it's okay for a person who sexually assaults somebody to be the president if they're not convicted in a criminal court, but they sexually assaulted them and they're found liable of it in a civil court. A criminal court makes it wrong, but a civil court, it's okay to sexually assault people. And so therefore Donald Trump is okay because he sexually assaulted the woman in a civil case. But if it would have been a criminal case, then unless in the criminal case they was lying, like it was an FBI informant who saw it, but then he couldn't necessarily say that he saw. So if even in a criminal case, it depends on who's the judge in the criminal case, and was it enough Republicans on the jury? Like, no matter what, to me the simple answer is no. If you're sexually assaulting people, you shouldn't be the president. Simple. And when you can't even say that, because you want to twist it all up so that you've convinced yourself somehow deep in the recesses of your mind that it might be like, come on. And I'm not even against you. Like B-Rab says, I would prefer Trump over Biden. And if B-Rab called in, I would ask him why. I wouldn't tell him he's wrong. I would just ask why. And I would be okay with whatever the answers are, of course, unless, either way, it's his decision. But just from a logical standpoint, why twist yourself into knots? And that's just it. You're like, okay, I don't think that a person who sexually assaults someone should be the president. Right? Say that's the simple answer. So, okay, well, he was found liable. He sexually assaulted that woman. Well, I I don't think then he should be the president. And it's like, you can't vote for him. Or you say, well, then maybe a person who sexually assaults someone should be the president if, they make the best decision for the country. Like, so then you have to say, well, I don't care if a person who sexually assaults someone becomes the president. I don't care. That don't sound good, though, do it? I don't care. And I'm like, just be honest. Say it. Say, I don't care if a person sexually assaults someone if I want that person to be my president. Just say it. Be honest about it. I don't care. And then just live with that. That's not that hard. That's not that hard. And see, here's more tying yourself in the knots. All of them done worse and all of them done this. Then just say you don't care. Just say you don't care. Live with that. And you gotta, well, but he did it and he did it and he did it. Well, then he was wrong, he was wrong, he was wrong. But just because he did it and he did it don't make your guy right for doing it. Darren says a crook, and they both are crooked. And okay. Then say, I don't mind a crook being the president. I mean, if you believe that they all crooks, just say it. I don't mind a crook being president. I'm down with a crook as president. Just say it. But that way you can stop tying yourself up in all of these logic knots. I don't care. I don't care about whether or not the president is a straight-laced guy or a crook. I don't care. Cool. And then we can roll from there. And that way you don't have to try to justify all of the nonsense. You just say, yeah, he probably did that. And I don't care. Yes, he grabs young girls by their vagina. But I don't care. Yes, he stuck his finger in that lady's vagina. But I don't care. Yeah, he is one of the biggest liars you will ever see. I just don't care. Okay, yes, he wants to overthrow or overturn or change our democracy. I don't really care that much about our democracy. I don't care. I want him, even if it means the end of democracy as we know it. I don't care. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Be honest about who you are, what you think, what you want. I think people respect that more. Not that you're trying to be respected. Like you probably don't care. I understand that. All right. I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand what you mean. And what lie am I telling? What lie am I telling? I didn't say if you vote for Trump, you're not going to be respected. I did not say that. I trust me, there's a whole lot of people who will respect you. They'll probably respect you more. All right, y'all. I really want Ron to talk more about this FBI, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, impeachment, fabricating claim thing, but we got into something else. I got to get ready to get out of here. I got stuff I got to do. I intend on being here tomorrow. That is the plan. That is the plan. I don't know. I got Ron's final message. If somebody doesn't respect me just because of the way I vote, then F them and the horse they rode in on. Okay. I said, didn't I say that? See, that's what I'm saying. You don't be listening to me. You already have in your mind what I'm saying made up. So what I say, just as they say, goes in one ear and out the other. That's what I just said. You ain't worried about being respected for who you vote for, possibly. That's what I said. That's it. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. My name is Emanuel Livingston. That's what I forgot to talk about. The daggone twin. Daggone nephew twin been attacking me on people's shows. Look, tomorrow, somebody remind me to talk about twin attacking me. I don't know if I would say he's attacking me, but it sounds better to say attacking me than saying things about me and trying to paint me in a negative light. We don't share an opinion. So he been on multiple shows talking about my opinion. So somebody remind me tomorrow to talk about nephew twin's ass. I know you used to be in the gang, but I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. You don't talk about me, I'm going to talk about your ass back tomorrow. And if I don't make it to tomorrow, y'all know who to look for. Twin, he might have took me out. He might have got some dudes to try to run up in me. Don't let me forget to talk about twin tomorrow. I've been trying to talk about twin since Friday. I meant to talk about it Friday. I think Thursday. I think I meant to talk about it Thursday and Friday, and it slipped my mind. Don't y'all let me forget tomorrow. All right? Damn twin. I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. I gotta get ready to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, everything. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Darren. Hopefully, everything works out well for everybody and everybody. If it's still kind of light out, if you get out and maybe take a walk or something, if it ain't cooled down too much. Whatever you do, be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.